So now what I'm going to do, you've got all of your panels sewn together, so now we're going to do a test fit on the dress form. So each one of these seams is going to go right where the black lines are. So I'm going to match, I'm going to work on the bottom here, and this seam matches with this seam down here, or the black seam that's up. And you're going to take a pin and you're going to push that down into as an angle like that. Push it in. Let me demo that again. So I'm going to line that seam up with that seam, and I'm pushing it at an angle into the dress form to hold it in place. And then I'll match that seam up at the top there, and then also push the pin at an angle up into the dress form. And then go to the next seam and put that there. And then up here at the top. Okay, so now that's holding that center front piece in line. So now the next thing I'm going to do is match this seam with this seam right here, and just matching that. Always remember to try to pin at an angle. Don't try to put it poking it, because it won't go through all the way. And then pin up here at the top there. If you did your pattern drafting correctly, you shouldn't have to do any adjustments. It should just fit like a glove. And this one so far is doing pretty good. It's the seam here is matching with this seam. And then this one. Now if I pull that, this is a little bit tight. But I'm going to pull it and it's off just a little bit. So we'll have to try to see about fixing that. And then here is the next one. Make sure that seam matches at that seam. Pin this in place. And this here. Now you're probably wondering about the tape and how it's not matching. I'm using somebody else's dress form, so her tape is off, just it's a different measurement than mine. I just didn't feel like taking the dress off of my dress form. Okay, so here's this one. So I'm gonna pull that. Wrench that. And then here. So you notice I could pull that really tight. But it's still off just a little bit there. So I think I'm gonna do some fixing on that. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so, and then these, remember we added a little bit of extra fabric to the back here so that we could pin that together. Like that, just to hold that together. Okay, so the bottom is matching pretty good. There's a little bit of a gap right there. So what I'm going to do to try to fix that is I'm just going to pinch that a little bit right there, and then I'm going to take my pencil and kind of draw a line there to know that I need to stitch that a little bit right there. So that'll tell me, and I'll show you that in another video. But it's like an 1/8 of an inch too big right there in the waist. So I'm gonna fix that in a little bit. That seam looks pretty good. This one is, it's off by like 1/8 of an inch. So what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna take out, I don't have much room to take out because it's only a 1/4 inch seam, but I think what I'm gonna do is just make a notation that this needs to come in, and I'm gonna do it on the inside of this seam here to let me know that I need to come in just a little bit here. So my seam allowance right there is only gonna be 1/8 of an inch instead of a 1/4 of an inch there. This one's okay, that one's okay, this one is okay. This one, once again, is a little bit short there. So once again, I think I'm just gonna do 1/8 of an inch, come in like 1/8 of an inch. So I'll only have a seam allowance left over of 1/8 because our seams are a 1/4. So I'll fix that and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that in the next video.